wizard.
Hi!
I'm liongirl.
And I'm Hufflepuff,
And welcome to Leviosa,
the podcast for Potterheads. My nickname is Hufflepuff because my Hogwarts house is Hufflepuff.
And my nickname is liongirl because my Hogwarts house is Gryffindor. And the mascot of Gryffindor is a lion.
We are two girls in middle school
Who love Harry Potter.
So join us while we talk about things like
Harry Potter opinions, Harry Potter games, tips for you guys,
and much more.
Enjoy the podcast! Hey guys!
Hey! So, let's start today's episode with any announcements we have. Liongirl.
Yeah, so I just came out with these, I don't know, for most of you, most of you probably know from my main YouTube channel, Pastel Pancake, that I have an online store, and I just came out with these Hermione Granger stickers and Draco Malfoy stickers, which is cool because it's Harry Potter themed tonight. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I have some of them, and they're super detailed.
Thank you.
If I look at the one she made for Hermione's wand next to my Hermione wand that I got for Halloween, the detail match between the two is so good.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
The link to, if you want to be like Hufflepuff and buy some of my stickers, the link to the stickers will be in the description below.
Okay, so today's episode is our unpopular opinions about the Harry Potter movies and some about the books.
We have a lot of things to cover, so let's get right into it.
So, the format for this episode will be a bit different from the last one.
Instead of breaking up into topics, we're kind of just going to go with the flow.
By bringing up different unpopular opinions we have and unpacking them separately.
So yeah, let's start. So the first one is that Draco isn't a bad guy.
Now, we talked about this a bit when we were explaining how the channel will work. And basically what we mean by this one is that Draco seems more misunderstood
and kind of
than bad and more broken.
Yeah.
Kind of.
If that makes sense. If you read the books, there's a lot of more details on the books than the movies. It's kind of not his fault that that he was kind of a bully. And imagine it's your parents are forcing you to be something that you're not, and then you're just forced to be evil, and you don't want to be evil, but you have to, and you're forced to go and kill somebody, and if you don't kill them, then you're gonna die. Imagine that a lot, and that's just.
And there is actually a deleted scene from the second movie where we get to see a bit into Draco's life, and it's in the books, and I was reading the second book. I'm rereading all the books at the moment, and it really shows how much pressure is put on him.
Yeah, and in the in the sixth movie, there was a lot of pressure put on him as well. As I said earlier, he was forced to kill Dumbledore, and Dumbledore is one of the most powerful wizards in the world, and there's a minimum percent chance that he's gonna be able to kill him, and if he doesn't kill him, he's gonna die himself, which is a lot, and it's and the scene where he was crying in the bathroom was really sad. It's kind of, me and Hufflepuff, I know that this is kind of mean, but when we watch it, we just try not to laugh because it's kind of funny. But
for me, it's mostly just because of his face.
Yeah, same.
In that
scene. But one of the scene that's really sad is when he's attempting to kill Dumbledore, and when he's actually attempting to kill Dumbledore, he's that's really sad. That made me cry, I swear. It made me cry. So sad, actually. Um,
Okay, how about we go to our next topic?
yeah. So the next one is that Hufflepuff is really underrated.
Now, this one is to me one of a very important one because not just because my Hogwarts house is Hufflepuff, but because there are actually some Hufflepuffs that are super powerful, but we just don't get enough of them,
Yeah.
which is kind of why I'm so grateful for the Fantastic Beasts movies because the main character, Newt Scamander, is a Hufflepuff. And he's so, like, amazing. And so that's why it's
Hufflepuff
very
is very
frustrating when we don't get enough, like, powerful Hufflepuffs.
yeah, there it's very like underrepresented. It's like most popular house is probably Gryffindor. I mean, I'm in Gryffindor, but not just because I wish I was in Slytherin, honestly, but I just took the quiz and I got Gryffindor, and I guess my personality is Gryffindor. But anyways, yeah, Gryffindor, and then Slytherin, I guess, and then Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. Because in
Yeah.
for Hufflepuff, the Harry Potter movies, there's like hardly any characters, and then like hardly any actual main roles and like proper lines and stuff, which is really disappointing. Because Hufflepuff is like a really
Yeah.
good house, as in like their like characteristics and their personality and basically just the house in general. It's very
Yeah.
underrated and it should definitely deserve more appreciation. Okay, so
Yeah. And
the next one
you can continue.
the next one is that Ron isn't an idiot.
So this one I feel like is kind of unpopular, more so than some of the other opinions we're talking about. We say this because there are several instances where it shows how smart he can be. Just in the first movie alone, we see him
Sacrifice his life.
show so much brains where he knows that he is going to have to take charge when they do the chess match part, and he realizes he will have to sacrifice himself and it could die so the school doesn't
Mm-mm.
die for his friends, and he's smart about that because he's not being reckless. He's really thinking through that entire part, and I really like that.
Like in the first movie or movie slash book, he like sacrifices and he doesn't die, but he sacrifices his life so that they can like find out who the person who's stealing the sorcerer's stone is, like to get it. Like so
Yeah,
he's very brave. Like it seems like in kind of the movies, it's like he's really scared of spiders, and he's just really like kind of like scared in general, and he likes to eat food. Um, and that's like his main thing, in like in the movies, but in the books, and kind of in the movies, like the books, the movies, like kind of like or kind of did him dirty, like, but the books show how like brave and strong he's like, and that he's not actually that stupid that he seems in the movies.
yeah. And as I said, rereading the books actually gives me a lot of insight that I forgot about
Yeah, like looking
that
back
weren't
at
in
the
the
books,
movies.
like rereading it, like there's like a lot more like I've noticed a lot more details and things than I did last time. It's like, oh, I didn't notice that in the last time I reread. It's like kind of cool to see new ones.
Yeah. Um. Anyways,
Yeah.
speaking of characters, Harry is overrated in our
So
opinion.
our next
He's not the
our next
best.
unpopular opinion is that Harry is overrated. He's not the best character in the entire. Even though it's like Harry Potter, he's still not the best. Even though like it's his own. It's literally his own movies and books. He's still not the best character.
Now, this is one I feel like more people might be behind, in my opinion. Um, but the reason we think this is just because there are a lot of instances where it just shows that he is not being that smart and
Yeah,
he's reckless.
yeah, and he's definitely very thick-headed and kind of stuck up and
Mm.
stubborn. Like I mean, like in the this is a little detail, but in the first book slash movie, I know that Draco was being mean and insulting Ron and his family, but I feel like Harry was also kind of being rude because Draco offered friendship and he rejected it. But I mean, I
No,
know that he was bullying.
now
I
I
feel like
remember reading the first book, and it ended up being that
they'd already met each other in a shop.
they had actually met each other at Madame Malkin's, which is the robes shop, and when they were there, Draco insulted Hagrid.
He did. Oh, oh
And
yeah, I forgot about that.
he was saying stuff that was against people who were muggle born, even half bloods, which Harry
That
was.
likely going back to our early,
Draco was
going
kind of
back to our
against.
going back to our first unpopular opinion. That's because of his dad. That's not because of him. That's not his fault. But like,
Yeah. And
yeah,
we understand that, but but for example, so I understand Harry's reasoning behind not taking Draco's friendship, but you shouldn't be mean to him just because he got into Slytherin and just because he's mean sometimes because you don't know what his home life might be like.
exactly. So, and he's also just one thing is he's like the third wheel for Ron and Hermione in the Golden Tree. Like
Oh my gosh, yes. Like there's so many even in the movies, it just shows
the
how much
entire
the
it's
third
like
wheel.
in the third movie, like when they were
Yeah,
about to
I
kill
was thinking
Voldemort, like Hermione like hugs Ron and then they're just like hugging and having this like couple moment and then
that.
Harry just like joins the hug. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Um
Okay, so anyway, let's move aside from the golden trio.
yeah.
Talk about something else.
So yeah,
Pansy Parkinson and Parvati Patil.
um yeah. Do you think we could that was our next unpopular opinion. A few more things about Harry isn't overrated. He's not like the best character. He's definitely not very smart, as in like witty, but like he's definitely like the opposite of a Ravenclaw. Um, he's kind of just a little stuck up. Sometimes he doesn't really see other people's like perspectives. Um, but yeah, that's it. The next one, everybody.
Well, I was saying that Pansy Parkinson and Parvati Patil should have gotten more screen time. Um, in the books, they do get a lot of screen time.
As in no,
Well,
not
not
screen time, book
screen
time.
time, but a lot of they are mentioned several times in the books, and they appear several times in the books.
They're great characters, but like they didn't even get to be in like the first and second movies and third. I mean, not yeah, third movie as well. But they were there in like the books, but they should have gotten more screen time and they should have gotten like more lines. Um, they're very underrated, I guess, and they should have they should have been like more significant characters. Like, um,
Yeah.
I've seen like a lot of Parvati is definitely Pansy is not as underrated, but Parvati is definitely very underrated. Like nobody hardly ever mentions her, even though I seem like she would be a great character, and there's definitely like a lot of potential in her character that J.K. Rowling and like the movies in general could have like added on and at
Yeah.
least given her some other lines besides in the Yule Brawl and like at least more lines like that. And
And
Pansy, I've read a lot of fan fictions about her, and like a lot of people do like think she's underrated, but nobody really
yeah.
talks about Parvati that much.
And the thing is, like, I'm currently rereading the fourth book, and Pansy is one of the Slytherins who is like constantly wearing the Potter Stinks badges and is constantly just shoving it in everyone's faces. She's also, if you think Draco is mean to Hermione, yes, he's probably the meanest to Hermione, but Pansy is also feeding into that and like
Yeah.
fanning the flames that Draco gives off when being mean to Hermione.
Mhm.
And so that's just in the books. Like in the movies, I think she has like starting from the third movie, she has like a line per movie, maybe not even. Like I don't think she ever speaks in the fourth movie.
Yeah. So yeah, they're both very underrated, and they should have gotten more screen time in the movies and more mentions in the books. Next one is that
Right.
things were a bit awkward with Harry and Ginny in the movies, and there wasn't very much Penny, like their ship. There wasn't much of that in the movies, and it was kind of awkward.
Yeah, so this one is one that has always bothered me. Um, it's kind of like the books, you can see their relationship grow over time. It's healthy and it's like actually growing and actually it isn't sped through, it's steady and grows. However, in the movies, like seven part two, Deathly Hollows part two,
Mm,
when when everyone's running around and stuff, it's so weird. Like you wouldn't really expect Harry and Ginny to like kiss. Like that doesn't make sense, does it?
yeah, it's kind of just like all of a sudden, like there's literally no like context of their relationship at all. It's kind of just
Yeah, there was
it's
no
kind of, yeah,
context, and they also really did the character Ginny dirty. Like
yeah, like
in the Ginny is really fiery. She's like
he was really confident, he,
hardcore.
like
She's like
smart,
she
but
doesn't take
she
she
was
doesn't take like
really confident and really
crap.
smart. And then in the movie, she's like, "Don't you trust
She's
me?"
like awkward, shy. It's like, don't you trust me?
It's
It's
kind of
like
just really weird.
really
Okay,
weird
so
and it doesn't make sense.
so the very last one that we have is Petunia actually cared about Harry.
Um, so this one is another one that kind of like I have noticed more and more as I watch the movies specifically because the books they don't feed into Harry's relationship with his aunt that much.
Yeah,
But what happens is it breaks my heart that this scene is deleted. But
yeah.
there's a scene that was sadly
And Deathly
deleted in
Hallows.
Deathly Hallows Part 1, and this is when the house number 4 Privet Drive has completely been emptied, right? They
And
don't
Petunia's
all the
talking to
rooms
him.
are empty and stuff. Petunia's standing in the living room and Harry passes by. They have a small conversation, but there's one line Petunia says that will forever stick with me every time I watch part 1 of the Deathly Hollows that I
You
don't think
didn't
I will
just
ever be able to watch the movie without knowing
it
this.
was you didn't just lose a mother that night. I lost a sister, which
And
shows a
in
lot.
case and everyone knows like Petunia was Harry's aunt from his mom's side. And what happens is that you can see how much Petunia really cares.
Hmm.
she doesn't want to leave her home. She's like, and Harry's like, you have to go. The minute they think you know where I am, they will do nothing to stop. They will do nothing. They will do everything they can to find out from you. And when Petunia says that line, it kind of hits you,
Hmm.
which is why it's kind of
Yeah.
sad that it's deleted.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been deleted. Like they like so like going back to our first unpopular opinion that Draco's the bad guy. I don't know if you mentioned this already, but they deleted another scene in the
You
seventh
didn't mention it.
in the seventh in the seventh
The
movie where
Harry
like
Part 2.
where wait yeah in the seventh part two where like Voldemort like kills Harry and he doesn't but everybody thinks he's dead and then when they find out that he's alive Draco like runs up to him and yells his name and throws him his wand which is like so sweet. They shouldn't have deleted that. Basically they deleted a lot of really good scenes that
There's a lot of scenes in the Deathly Hallows movies that were deleted that could have changed the movie so much.
yeah like that scene was so sweet though, like the one when he runs, like when he
Yeah,
runs up to
you
Harry, like
can.
makes me
It's
cry, I
sad.
swear. I just
Yes,
Draco
sadly on.
Draco's like one of my favorite characters. But anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, that's all we have to
Can
say.
can I just add something to what you were saying about the
Oh yeah.
deleted scene quickly?
Mhm.
So, sadly, if you go on Apple TV and you look at the movie, you can usually find those like extras things and deleted scenes. I was looking at the
It's not
deleted
even there.
scenes in that
We're gonna
movie
pretend
on
like
Apple,
because it
and
happened.
it's not there. However,
It happened in the book though.
It is on it is
Well,
on
if
YouTube,
you
so
look
we
for it
can put any deleted scenes we talked about in the description, so you have a link to them.
okay, yeah, that's all.
We really are excited for our future episodes.
If you enjoyed listening to this short episode,
We would love it if you subscribe so you can listen to longer upcoming ones. I know this episode wasn't as short as some of the others, but
yeah, stay tuned.